welcome to Save Your Bacon, where we think we're here to help. My name's Will.
I'm Zane.
And we're going to be doing a comedy advice podcast for our first time ever. There was definitely a moment where, can you remind me, what was the title you thought at first you wanted to put this as?
So when you say save your bacon, I hear savior. Save your bacon, which I thought you would really like.
Like
but
savior, like one word savior,
yeah,
like Jesus.
Like our Lord and Savior. But then
Our
I
Lord
also
and Savior
thought,
bacon.
let's push it a little bit further with bacon. Sometimes you're baking in the kitchen to make bacon. And so I thought we could be Savior Baking.
Where we'd have a full podcast about Jesus making
a great
breads.
A great religious cooking show.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is also a really good idea. So if this flops, I'm sure we could switch over. But
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so, man, was it a process to get to this point? But here we are, and we are so glad to be here. We're going to start off with something. I actually got a question for us. Sorry about the weird background noises here, but
Hit us with it.
let me see. All right. This comes from user, this is from Reddit, by the way, user ATS7454, who asks, is it reasonable to complain about a baby noise in am apartment?
Oh.
A little flavor here. So a family moved downstairs and they have a baby. I can only presume that they are let it cry itself to sleep sort of parents, because they let it cry for hours sometimes.
Oh, man.
It also sounds as though it is directly under our bed. So I like to imagine. That's why I had to stop on this one. Yeah, taped to the ceiling to get maximum noise.
No, I was thinking taped under the bed, like that they did actually.
They just hid it underneath your bed.
Yes.
That's why it's been there for hours.
Like while you guys were out, they came into your apartment and they taped it under the bed.
Yeah, pause the podcast, call these people back up. I'm going to send off a quick DM to this user to let you know that you do have a trapped baby underneath your bed.
We do, yeah, no, in all seriousness, we do have to inform you the baby is under your bed, and you might as well just feed it at this point. Maybe just give
Time
it
is counting down before that baby expires, my friend.
It seems like you guys are the ones that are let it cry itself to sleep type of parents in this situation.
Yeah, but I didn't even think of that. My first thought was, yes, they did just tape it to the ceiling to see how obnoxious it could get.
So you thought that the parents were actually like testing, like Mythbuster style, testing how annoying the baby could get when taped to the ceiling. Plausible, says the people.
Does it fall asleep faster on the ceiling or slower? Is that the natural process for sleeping? Hanging in the womb?
Does it fall faster when it's taped to the ceiling?
Does it fall faster? From what? Compared to what?
If we drop it from normal parent height or from the ceiling, what does it accelerate at such a speed that it might hit the ground a little faster? These are hard-hitting questions, and I did mean to say hard-hitting.
No babies are harmed in the creation of this podcast. We joke about the baby dropping comments, but on probably the less funny half of this, would it be reasonable to approach them and ask them to move the baby to another room or ensure that they are trying to comfort the baby when it cries? Hey, parents, have you tried stopping the baby from crying? Hey, quick pro-life tip. Have you tried making it freaking stop? Do you think that would work?
I've never thought about it this way, but I love a parent, like, telling that to a parent, and the parent being like, oh, yeah, no, that's a good...
Well, damn, now that you say it.
Just like...
Knock. Hey, stranger, I actually live right above you. Have you tried getting your baby to stop crying?
Here's the scenario. I'll paint the picture for you. Dad sits on couch next to crying baby watching sports TV. Man, knock at the door, says to man, hey, have you thought of making your baby stop crying? Dad's face goes white, looks at baby with revelation eyes.
Yes.
I can make you stop?
There's a way?
I can do this.
The
Janine,
hospital never told us this.
Janine.
Where have I been?
It can turn off.
Maybe we can move out of the rock we live under as well. Yeah, I thought that was fun.
I also do like the
How
idea.
would you approach them?
I do. When you mentioned, first off, when you said could they move it to another room, my head didn't go to like, oh, the baby's crib is under that, like, that floor, the bed and whatnot. My head went to, can they get it its own apartment?
Can you just move apartments for my convenience?
Can the parents have this apartment, and then they split the rooms in the apartment across the way?
Okay, that's a thought too, I suppose. Yeah,
they can visit it very easily. That's pretty much the only perk, is that it's nearby.
We can hang out with you whenever you want, baby. Just give us a ring. We'll be there.
It'll be quieter for the parents,
Just
too.
give us a scream.
Exactly.
We'll be there.
We'll hear you. It's just it'll be far enough away that we don't have to care for that long. How
We're gonna be really great parents one day.
Oh, yep. You bet your bottom dollar. I would approach them, absolutely, because I'm a person. If I was irritated, I'd get very passive aggressive, which is not.
Have you
good.
ever lived in an apartment?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Were there any babies or loud people near?
Yes.
Really? I've never had that.
I lived in an apartment where the person across the hallway was never not playing their drum set.
Really?
Yes. But the same way that your baby cousins bang on like the piano keys or a drum set, not like
just slam. Yeah, absolutely.
And
I'm sure the clapping is really good audio.
Exactly. Well, I mean, if it annoys the listeners, then they get exactly how annoyed you get.
Oh, exactly. Sound warning. Ear popping. Yeah.
You can't go over and like tell them to stop because they won't hear you knock on the door. So it's not worth it anyway. It's not worth it anyway.
Interesting. Nothing to help. And then when it's quiet, you're just going to go over and be
when it's quiet, you're like, just thank God they're done.
I guess.
If I went over, actually, that's when I think if they got quiet, that's when I would start banging on my drum set.
Yeah. See, I've never had loud apartments adjacents. I don't know how to put it. Neighbors. That's the word I'm looking for. That's a good word
for when you've got someone that lives nearby.
Of course, yeah. And because I've always been the loud one, because I had a piano up against a wall, which was shared with the next apartment over, which was actually my landlord.
Oh wow!
Real story, yeah. And so I would be sitting there practicing piano. It made it a lot worse actually when my my foster kid that I had, he wanted to learn piano, and so I taught him some stuff. And then he got really tunnel visioned on that one thing that I taught him and played it for 4.5 hours straight.
Wow.
Like this one tiny little ditty that he was learning. And I was like, I was blown away. I've never been able to practice that much in my life. And I play a lot of piano. And that was the only time that I actually got like a message from the landlord being like, yo, the one ditty's gotta stop. It was,
lay off the ditty.
I was not upset either when I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, you have to stop.
This is a real follow-up question. Have there been other days where he's come by after you've played a beautiful piece? He's come by, knocked on your door and said, I'm actually a talent agent and you're just what I've been looking for.
Wow. I think we have to make a Hallmark movie based off of that.
Piano Christmas.
Piano Christmas. A Christmas piano.
A Christmas piano.
A Christmas kissing piano.
A kissing Christmas ditty.
Yes. A 4.5-hour Christmas kissing ditty. Coming to Hallmark near you. Yes, absolutely.
I have a follow-up question.
Oh, another. Good.
And it's in no way related, so I shouldn't have called it a follow-up question.
Good.
I have a question to follow up the idea of having questions.
Oh, just a new question. That was a really good segue. Very good.
Good way to say
yeah, that's a really good transition. Hit it.
All right. This question is also on Reddit. Comes from user abond008. All right. The question is, why doesn't Mark Zuckerberg know my taste in women? Here's the stuff they give us.
Good.
As a guy who gives companies, CIA and FBI my information, he should know my type of women. I mean, the dude knows everything about me. My address, my name, family members, places I've visited, clothes I like to wear, hobbies, movies I watch, porn I watch. Mark
Zuckerberg has a great handle on my porn.
Porn I watch, my penis size.
But excuse me? Mark Zuckerberg? Does Mark Zuckerberg know my penis size? Is that in there?
You know.
Is that actually in there?
Yes. You know, every time that you've gone on Facebook and been like, Mark, it's 6. And then you've come down. You've been like, also, I like blondes. And you're like, why do you only remember my penis size? So, catching back up. My penis size, but not my taste women. He always advertised East European women and send friend requests from fake account using East European women when I am into Caribbean women.
Oh my
Why is he making this mistake? I'm quite disappointed. What do you
Caribbean or Caribbean? That is the last question I should be asking here.
I would always say Pirates of the Caribbean, but a cruise
But
through the Caribbean.
Yeah, saying, okay, cool, that doesn't matter at all. There's so many things to unpack in this
Yeah, I
question.
know.
I wish I had it in front of me.
Can we
my
just
gosh.
only talk about that?
And we just talk about Caribbean and move on. No,
Yeah.
Man, what was I gonna say?
If you had something you knew you wanted to say about this question, I'd be amazed.
Like one specific thing?
Is it the fact that this dude knows my address, my name, family members, places I visited, clothes
Mark
I like to wear?
Zuckerberg, you know my address. How do you not know the women I like? That's all you need.
All right, can we just put this out there? All right, now if this was a dating profile, all right, you're looking for the match of your life. What do I need to put on my profile?
Address and dick size.
Obviously,
That's it.
Obviously, my name, my address, my penis size, the porn I watch, and the movies that I should have been clear. It says porn that I watch, but for movies, it just says movies that.
Yeah.
Movies, you know that.
That's very good. Yeah. Also, here's the thing. I have never been like, Mark Zuckerberg, why do you keep on making these accounts to send me? What is he gaining? Remind me. I know that's like not a big deal and all, and definitely is a forethought on like the very lack of knowledge that's going on in this sentence. But like, Mark Zuckerberg, stop sending me these Eastern European women. These aren't the Caribbean girls I want. Mark, stop your girls.
I do really like that he's like,
Call the girls off, Mark. It's the wrong ones.
You're sending too many.
There's
Tell him
too
to go
many
back.
Eastern European girls, Mark.
Send 'em
That's not the
somewhere.
porn I like.
That
Gosh.
doesn't match my dick size, you know.
Yeah. Russian girls don't match my dick size and address.
I do like what you bring up of the, he's not blaming Facebook, he's pointing at, like, Mark Zuckerberg knows that he's sending these to me, and for some reason sending the wrong ones.
Yeah.
Why? Get it right, Zuckerberg.
It reminds me of the interview that he had with when he was getting investigated. Not that I'm going to get into that, but
Of
that was
course.
also just very funny. I'm just like, Mark, stop doing this personally. You have way too much time on your hands, Mark.
He is a man of the people, but unfortunately, he is not a love guru.
Yes. And when we say people, we do not mean Caribbean. We mean Eastern European.
We do mean he's a man of the Eastern European people.
Women, yes.
Of the Eastern European women.
Which have
And
one mutual friend, which is another person who are catfished in this sense into
yeah.
accepting a friend request. Yes.
Zuckerberg, the mutual friend also, I mean, of course, Abon 008, clearly, they know a lot about each other, so.
And
Do you think that's I'm going to ask this. Do you think that's a one-way relationship? Do you think he knows all of that about Zuckerberg? Do you think Abon 008 has all that information on Zuckerberg and he's actually
does he have the dick size of Mark Zuckerberg?
That's like Justin Timberlake's character in The Social Network, Abon 008, and it's really just like, I also know these things about you, but I also know that you like these kinds of women.
This is a pretty lame joke, but he's one better than 007. So maybe. Good one, Will. Let's move on.
Thank you.
All right, so I have a GoFundMe, which
Hit me
I think
with it.
I think we can give some solid advice for these.
Hit me with it.
This is a $50 goal that somebody is trying to.
So they just want $50.
Yeah, they're only asking for $50,
Okay.
which is a good which is a good thing to start with. Like, yeah, I don't have to actually invest that much. You get 10 people giving $5. This is given to us. This is a Reddit submission of a GoFundMe given to us by user Bigglebish.
That's a good name.
Yeah, it is. I didn't think about that till I said it, but yeah.
Bigglebish.
And all this person says is a trip to IKEA.
Question mark?
Trip to IKEA with the boys. Period. I am raising funds for me and the boys for a trip to IKEA. It has been our dream. Manifest destiny. I think that's ironic. I mean, like, I think the person's actually being ironic there, but still very good. And largest wish to go to an IKEA together. I live 2 hours from the boys, so the funds will be used for gas, and once we get to the IKEA, it will be used for food. The money will first be for gas, and then it will be transformed into money for food.
Right, of course. You've gotta go to that good ATM and trade in your gas money for food.
For food money, yeah. The $50 will cover all
Your
that.
burger bucks.
Yes, your burger bucks, your meatball bucks for IKEA. I will appreciate the support for me and the boys. And very straight to the point. I gotta give them points on the idea of it doesn't go into detail. There's no pictures of, like, this is me crying. I'm very sad that I can't go with the boys. It's just a picture of IKEA.
Yeah. I don't need to know the backstory of you. I just need to know your end game.
I wish I knew more about the boys, though.
Yeah, the boys could be anybody right now. What if the boys are like top-notch players? What if we're talking Elon Musk level players here?
I'd give $50 to bring Elon Musk to IKEA.
Exactly. That'd be a moment in time.
You should have given us flavor and profiling for the boys in order to give us a more emotional, like, you know, knee-jerk response.
Also, the porn that the boys watch.
And the dick size and address would be helpful as well if we really want to know
what kind of girls they want to have.
Caribbean or Russian. You tell us.
There are two very important things that I got to touch on here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, why is IKEA the number one hotspot for food? Why is that their go-to place?
You know,
for food?
yeah, they weren't like, we got to go to IKEA so we can buy some furniture.
It
wasn't so that I can get my Swagengog like lamp or something.
I'm 2 hours away from the boys, and there just happens, like, they live in the middle of nowhere, but there is a chill IKEA pretty close to them.
Yeah.
So if we get out there, we find that IKEA, we crush it. All right, we're gonna get the best kind of food that they got. Now that's fine if they're going there for food and it's all they've got. But the bigger question is, if they reach their goal of $50 and they only have $50 to their name, and some of that 50 goes towards the food, how many boys are there to they can split the rest of that money to have a good meal amongst all of them?
Food at IKEA is very cheap. I haven't actually like stopped and been like, let's sit down and have a meal for IKEA, but I know a lot of people do it. I don't know anybody who goes specifically to IKEA for food, although I think that is a thing.
Yeah.
But how
many boys?
Have good food.
How many boys?
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is for all the boys or just them.
Just in your head. How many boys are there in your head?
Maybe they're like, we're only $50 short.
Hit me with it though.
How many boys?
When
I think boys, I think 4 boys. I think there are 5 of us.
Including the original?
I think that's a good squad of boys.
You
5 boys.
You think? Wait, so is it you and then 4 other boys, or you and the boys makes 4 boys?
Me and the boys makes 5 boys.
Oh, you and the boys makes 5. You're a boy band.
Boy bands aren't always 5 people.
They're always 5 people.
They are not.
NSYNC.
One Direction 4.
Backstreet. Yes. One Direction 5.
Oh, dang it. Oh, nuts, dude.
Did you forget the one that's got my name?
Oh, nuts. I forgot about the Zane. Dang it. Okay, so
5 boys, which before...
An incredibly fuel-efficient car.
Fuel
efficient car. An incredibly fuel-efficient car. That's only... Let's say $20 in gas for the 2 hours there and back. All right. That's very good.
So $6 split evenly amongst them for food.
Oh, see, that's not that bad all of a sudden. You get a water cup, you get meatballs each. I think it's like, I don't know, maybe $5, $6.
Cup and meatballs all around.
Water cup meatballs for everyone.
What if one
this
boy
is boy balling on a budget, Zane.
We're budget boy balling.
Oh.
We've just, all right. You know what? In the long run, we've taught you how to ball with your boys on a budget. So that's very nice.
We actually did do some of the budgeting for them. Maybe if you want a little bit of help, whoever anonymous boy IKEA trip
There's your
submitter
advice.
Here's your genuine advice. Maybe think a little bit more, and maybe we're the idiots, and maybe you were just $50 short, but it seems like you need a little more money. Are you just going for furniture, or are you just going for the food?
Oh, very important question. Are you going to be tempted to get some good furniture while you're surrounded there in your comfort zone full of food, and you're thinking, you know what? I could use another love seat. And now I think
these boys are 16 years old, Zane. There is no way they're like me and the boys.
Fine, a gaming chair, whatever you want.
You find an IKEA gaming chair? Have you ever been to IKEA, my dude?
That's not going to help. It's on a podcast. I can't say
He's
that.
He's pointing.
There's every piece of furniture in my room right now is from IKEA.
Are you joking? I'm just like
not at all.
I'm just looking around.
Every piece.
Okay, but these aren't gaming chairs.
You're right.
I think of like the banana ones on the floor with no legs when I think gaming chair. I guess I should just think more of like a full length, like full height one that you sit at a computer.
Yeah.
But I think of like a big banana one with like Bluetooth speakers. You know what I'm talking about? I just don't see that at IKEA. But anyways.
IKEA is a mystery.
And also, it's a whole maze. So you got to walk through the entire store to get to the meatballs, I'm pretty sure.
You got to be sure that on your way out, you don't accidentally use
So you will be tempted is what I'm saying.
You don't want to use all your food energy on the way out, too, to the point where you become hungry again.
Yikes.
By the time that you're getting out of there.
And then you just make a new GoFundMe and ask for $50 more for you and the boys.
But you're going to have to wait at the IKEA.
Yeah, that's
until you get the money.
All right. I got another for us.
Another GoFundMe?
Yeah, another GoFundMe. Let's hit one more up. I'm going to share this. I wish I could show you the picture as well. I don't want you to look over at the picture and just
Okay.
have like a reaction that you shouldn't have.
All right.
But
Perfect.
this one is labeled, it just says, hey, your boy's broke and want V-Bucks. $300 goal. The picture that is associated, in case you want some sort of flavor, it's a man, and you know, like, that, like, stereotypical, like, your parents or your grandparents taking pictures of themselves, and it looks like it's just shot straight up their nose, and they, like, don't know where to look or whether to smile, and they're just kind of staring blankly.
Absolutely.
It's like that exact same thing, except a man crying at the same time. So it looks like this man was crying, and somebody came up and decided to take a picture up his nose.
Oh, what a generous move.
A little blurry. There isn't any flavor on this. He has no text on it, and so I think this is a really good one to be able to appropriately
Elaborate
critique.
with. All right.
Yeah,
He's trying to raise how much money?
$300 of
$300,
V-Bucks.
and he needs V-Bucks.
Yeah.
But he broke.
V-Bucks for Fortnite, of course.
Yep. Fortnite is the V-Buck currency area.
Yeah.
So
Do you play Fortnite, Zane?
I have played Fortnite.
I played a couple rounds of Fortnite. I've played maybe 10 in my life, honestly.
Yeah, just because it's free, you know? So I would say that this man is... The thing about V-Bucks is it's just to look better. It doesn't make you better in any way.
Zane, you're having a stupid argument right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hit me with
It doesn't matter.
Now,
Your boy is really broke. Come on, V-Bucks, Zane.
It depends what the outfit is. It depends who
Oh,
he's repping.
so you want him to make a promise. These are the skins I will buy. They
Yeah.
will be this good. You don't
I
have
need
to
to-
judge me. You will know they will go to a good cause.
If I'm Shark Tank and he's bringing this in and I'm about to invest in this boy, I need to know he's going to make some good investments.
I mean, that's literally our podcast. We're telling people how to make these work, right?
Yeah.
This is what we're going at.
the thing
Good,
is
keep going.
he can't predict what's going to be out there every day or every week costume wise. So he's got to be ready.
He's got to be invested in the stock
And-
markets, ready to predict the next costume coming out. Oh,
Exactly.
Christmas is coming? I'm going to get you the Santa skin if you donate to me.
He's got it, yeah, and he's got to know also that he has the ability to hold back from buying all the bad skins that are in between all the good skins.
Listen, folks, if you donate to me, there is no way I'm going to be getting... I don't know any skins for Fortnite.
I'm glad that you're whispering just loud enough that the mic can still hear you.
Otherwise, there'd just be dead silence and you responding to nothing. So, I mean, I'm not going to be getting any dumb skins. I'm sorry, I don't know any.
I don't know any off the top of
I'm
my
not
head
gonna get
either.
any. I had a friend of mine who, his brother, ironically put up a GoFundMe. Actually, I think it was an Indiegogo for so that Brock could get the disco skin or something. I don't know. It was some skin. It was like a rainbow skin, and it just said so Brock can have the rainbow skin and play with the boys with the skin. So he's the only one who's not a skinless or whatever.
Right.
And he got it. He got the $25 within a day. I'm not kidding. People donated so that just some dude named Brock, who's a friend of mine, got a skin on Fortnite, and his wife was pissed. Like, you put up people and made them donate. Like, a friend of ours was like 20 of it, but
Yeah.
some random dude donated $5 so that he could get a skin because his wife was like, no way am I letting you spend money on V-Bucks. And when he explains it as something that's purely cosmetic, which I totally understand. And as me being 23 years old and having friends who are married, who have wives who are even able to tell them no way you're spending on that, is obviously unrelatable to most of the people who play Fortnite, since it's mostly a younger generation, but and the joke of even bringing up Fortnite in general is a little bit dying in itself. But hey, here we are.
It's a painful one, isn't it?
Yeah, because I mean, I only say it incredibly ironically when I even bring up the idea of Fortnite, and I hope that gets across.
I'm gonna look something up really quick.
Yeah?
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I believe $300 would get him 30,000 V-Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm doing my math correctly, all of the good skins are usually 2,000 to 2,500, which would mean that
so $20 to $25.
This is
wait, yeah, I got that right.
This is very specific. All right, that's like one skin. 2,500 of those V-Bucks.
Yeah.
There are weapon skins now. You can buy dances. You can buy emotes. You can buy stickers.
Man,
you
we
can
are
buy
digging
battle passes.
deep
You can buy
into
weapon. Yeah, it's like
Fortnite lore.
yes, all of this. There are so many variations. He could probably buy one whole round of whatever's on the item shop
Right now.
for just those 30,000. But
And that's why he's asking for it. So maybe he's
But-
smarter than we think.
but he would be out of it by the end of that, is what I'm getting at.
So he could blow his entire load of 30,000 V-Bucks just like on what the store has to offer.
That man
right
could
now.
blow his load in just one sitting. Long story short, don't blow your load too quickly, and I'll give you all the money you need. That's what I say.
Are you going to donate?
No, that's pretty much, I'm used to saying that like every Friday night, right? Like, don't.
One more time, what was it?
Don't blow your load too quickly, and I'll give you all the money you need.
Yep, that's what I thought.
All
Okay,
right,
cool. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. In case anybody got whooshed as hard as I did on that. Yeah.
Do you need another question?
I would love another question. I don't need it, but I'll take it.
I've got it. That's also what I say every Friday night.
Okay, give me the question.
All right. So this is another one from Reddit. It's from Reddit user Kudapunk. The question is...
It's like a steampunk version of PewDiePie.
It is, how much sawdust can you put into a Rice Krispie treat before people start to notice? There is no context. I would just love to know.
How much sawdust can you put in a Rice Krispie treat
before people start
notice?
Before people start to notice.
So it's not even how much will hurt the person. It's just when will they notice?
No, I'm not doing this to hurt people. I mean, they're not doing this to hurt people.
I guess so, yeah.
They're just doing this
Are they trying to make it heavier? Are they trying to just take up space?
Are they trying to make it heavier?
I don't know, man.
Wow, this Rice Krispie treat is rather heavy.
This is a thick Rice Krispie treat.
Might there be sawdust in this one? They found out. Because this one was 20 pounds heavier than the last one.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, there's some places I go to, some restaurants,
that put sawdust in the Rice Krispies?
Yeah, that. And also, like, when I go, I'm like... Whoa, look at that Rice Krispie. That looks really, like, thick. And I pick it up, and the weight of it is, like, if it's, like a really heavy Rice Krispie treat, I'm like, dang, that's going to taste really good, I bet, because it's going to be so full of sugary goo.
Two important things.
Yeah.
One, there are restaurants you go to that just have Rice Krispie treats on the menu. This is new to me.
No, you ever been to Noodles and Company?
They have Rice Krispie treats?
Yeah, they have like homemade ones where they like, and I worked at a place. I worked at a little cafe in Winona where we would have to make Rice Krispie treats, and we would take like a big like 2-3 pound bag of like store brand of Rice Krispie treats,
I didn't know
like Rice Krispie cereal. We'd put it in a big tub and get marshmallows and butter.
Oh, good.
And put that in the microwave, mix it up. Dump it with the Rice Krispies, mash it around, and it's like real hot and sticky, and I don't like my wording, and I flatten it out. and then when it gets...
Keep going.
And then when it cools...
Actually, if you want to... I was going to say, if you want to redo that, but whispering into the microphone, by all means.
Warm sugary goo. I said that 3 minutes ago in case you forgot. That's just not me making it up. What did I actually say?
You don't have to redo the whole thing.
Oh, I just thought it'd be fun. What I was going to say, yeah, but then we sold those. And it was like, if it was like thicker, heavier Rice Krispies, I would be like, ooh, that's a better, like, it just doesn't remind me of like a store-bought, like, little individual baggied Rice Krispie treat. And so I thought it was like better.
That's actually really good for you guys. I had no idea that Rice Krispie treats were anywhere but like convenience stores.
Really?
Yeah.
Never?
I didn't. I know that people make them at their houses. I didn't know that stores made them. I don't. It just because when I think anything like cafe or restaurant, I think they're too high standards to do stuff like that.
Yeah, but how much sawdust? Wow, did we get sidetracked? My fault. How much sawdust? Well, I think we gotta...
Before people start to notice. This is very important. The question is not how much sawdust would you prefer in your Rice Krispie treat. It's how much sawdust is able to fit into one solid Rice Krispie treat before people begin to notice that you have put sawdust in there. Yeah.
And so I looked it up, and it looks like a regular Rice Krispie treat is 1.3 ounces.
1.3 ounces?
So with that in mind, how
much does sawdust, like a pound of sawdust, weigh? Is that
was the dumbest question I've ever heard in my life.
Have you ever heard the question of like a pound of metal and a pound of feathers?
Yeah, and lead and feathers.
Yeah, obviously lead's heavier because the other's feathers.
Is that the answer that you gave, Zane?
When they say, but it's a pound, and they say, but it's heavier than feathers.
with that accent too, huh? I always thought that was a stupid test that people asked you just to see whether you were thinking or not. But
whether you weren't thinking or not, I caught you there.
Oh, good one.
Thank you.
But so knowing that a regular Rice Krispie treat, 1.3 ounces, what amount of ounces or tenth of ounces or whatever, just can help us. What percentage of the full Rice Krispie do you think you could get away with
I do think that you could get the Rice Krispie treat up to a solid 4.5 pounds before I would notice.
So it's a personal thing. It's not people by large. It's you personally, which I believe.
You have to keep something in mind. You could go Rice Krispie treat, and you could start making it heavier and heavier to the point that I say, wow, this is a dense Rice Krispie treat. But there's a certain extent. You have to reach a certain just excessive amount before I'm like, wow, this is so heavy. That must be sawdust.
It wouldn't be the fact that you didn't see these regular Rice Krispie bubbles and that it was just a big yellow brick.
Yeah. Because sometimes that stuff is already tough enough to chew.
You have that hard of a time with Rice Krispie treats?
Sometimes it depends on the kinds that you make, man. Sometimes they're not as soft as you'd expect. Sometimes they are actually just blocks of sawdust.
So next week we're going to be doing a Rice Krispie treat review.
On this episode of Save Your Baking.
We're going to be on this episode of Save Your Baking, we're going to be doing a Rice Krispie treat review with Jesus Christ's spirit among us at the same time.
Hello and welcome back to Save Your Baking. I am your patron host, Zane Shaw, here with my Messiah, Will Palumbo.
Oh my gosh!
On this episode,
you heretic.
On this episode, we will be making Rice Krispie treats that are heavy and aren't they just? They're just the
free of sawdust.
Life of the party. So free of sawdust that so good. You'll love them to death, but then you'll come back in 3 days and eat them again.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Do you hate me yet?
I'm not happy. Cool. I hope that answers your question. We will have a Rice Krispie treat review for the next episode. That is going to happen. If I'm not home, if I'm not in the same room as you next time, I will be sending you some in the mail, Zane, so we can both review them simultaneously. Perfect. Would you like another question?
I would absolutely love another question.
Okay, we can do that. Actually, before we do that, I want to stop and say, as we get here right about somewhere in the halfway mark, that obviously we don't have any commercials, this being our first episode that we're creating of Save Your Bacon, but we do want to say that we're going to be putting up some opportunities for people to be putting in question submissions, and we're going to be doing that through Twitter. We created a Twitter, and it's just called Zane and Will.
Zane and Will.
Zane and Will, because Zane always goes first, and so...
It's because it's on my computer.
Hey, Will, can I make a Twitter account called Zane and Will, and then can you manage it for me? Sure, I'd love to do that. Perfect. And so we're going to be using that as a way. We'll be sending out some tweets being like, yo, here we are. But go to that, send us some submissions of some questions, any advice you'd like, any help with that we could definitely absolutely try and aid in, and we'll bring it up here. All
advice is welcome too. If it's genuine, just your own advice, or if you found a question that you thought would be hilarious to have an answer to, just whatever it is, whether it's comical or serious, whatever amount of advice you want, you can send it to that Twitter, and we'll do whatever we can to...
Serious without being sad.
Exactly. Not serious to the point that it'd be a bummer of an episode to listen to.
My life is hopeless and everything sucks. How do I get better? Please, no.
Because, and all I'm just going to say is, have you seen Atlanta on
Send me
Hulu?
A DM. I'd love to get you in...
Can I just say, that's my universal answer right now. If you say anything about being sad or like, how do I make my life better? I'm just going to say, check out Atlanta on Hulu. It's a pretty funny show.
Atlanta on Hulu?
Yeah, Donald Glover's show. It's pretty funny. It's pretty dang funny. I wrote a spec script for it.
Yeah, that's what makes Zane happy. But if you do need help, there are way better resources than asking for our help. So I just want to put that out there. Cool. That will be available. Once again, that is Zane and Will at Twitter. That is our handle. Just Zane and Will. No spaces, right?
Correct.
Zane and Will. Uppercase Z, uppercase W, in case it matters at all. I don't know Twitter. But yeah, that's all I got for that.
There aren't uppercase Z's or W's, but I don't think it'll matter in the end. I think it gets you to the same spot.
Yeah, totally. So, and so we'll hop right back into questions. I have a question for you, Zane.
Hit me with it.
Any resources to help an adult become more socially adept? As a teen, I found great success in reading etiquette books. I can't tell if they're saying as an adult and then as a teen. Like, they're both simultaneously adult and teen. That's what I thought when I was a teen. I am both simultaneously teen and adult.
It's like when you hit 18, you're like, I don't know yet. My face has beard, but my head has just, like, too many
only boobs on mine.
thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. My phone just buzzed. I wonder if that'll show up on the sound. But
we'll see.
As a teen, I found great success in reading etiquette books. Much to my dismay, I've began looking again, and all the books I've found have been aimed at teens rather than adults.
Wait.
I'm looking for books, videos, anything really that will allow me to shed my social awkwardness.
I'm looking for books.
I'm looking for books. Out of my way, world. I'm looking for books.
Step over. This adult teen's coming in for books. Coming in hot, fresh off the box.
I'm not a nerd. I'm looking for books.
What am I? Some kind of child nerd? No, I'm an adult teen who reads books.
Out of my way. I'm looking for books, videos, anything really that will allow me to shed my social awkwardness. And they go into a very long story about certain situations, but at the end they say, please help me in the way that I am. And this comes to us by user u/parentaccounts1143.
Ooh. Now
That's telling on its
I
own.
don't know if they're an adult or teen or where they are. Yeah.
What if it's their parents asking for them to help their teen?
This is worse.
There's so many
This
layers.
got worse.
There's so many layers. Or
my son's not cool. Where can I find books to get him to make him
I think
better?
if I was a parent, I'd just be very direct about it if it's anonymous anyways and be like, yo, my teen's so awkward.
If it's anonymous, yeah. What is it like? Oh, Jeremy's gonna get onto my account and he's gonna see that
I'm clearly parent account 1143. Yeah.
She's not talking about me. She would have said Jeremy, not some other guy.
Yeah, exactly. But they do give specific situations about social places that they're just incredibly awkward, and at the end they're just like, help me in the way that I am. Help me change my ways. Zane has two previously / maybe still incredibly awkward people.
Maybe.
How do you help yourself in shedding your social awkwardness?
This is a beautiful question. How do I help myself in shedding my social awkwardness?
Or what videos or books do you go to?
What kind of books do I read? Well, let me just
I need help in social situations. How can I put
Get out of
myself
my-
in a hole in order to read more books
Get
to
out of
help
my way,
myself?
Will. I gotta isolate myself in a cafe real quick. Read this book.
I'm trying to get better at social situations. What books should I read?
You ever read The Scarlet Letter, Will? I've been reading that nonstop for the past year.
Is it true?
No,
I wish it was.
I actually did a book report on it recently.
Recently?
I'm in college, and I had to recently do a book report on Scarlet Letter. Yeah, in
Boy.
my literature class. All right, you want to get back onto the topic?
Tuition dollars well spent. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
What
yeah.
do you do to help with your own social awkwardness? I'm curious.
What do I do to help with it? This is gonna sound like the dumbest. Maybe it's one of the more common answers nowadays. You embrace it.
It's just part of who you are.
You want to know how awkward I am? This is gonna be fun to say on a podcast. All right. So people in high school know that I'm the type of person that would genuinely talk to every single person, whether or not they wanted to talk to me. I would say hi to everyone, and then there was a good amount of times that they would say, I don't know you, stop talking to me.
Really? You had
But
that happen?
Every day.
You're joking.
No, every day.
I thought everybody loved you in high school.
No. Everybody told me when I graduated everyone loved me, but no one in high school ever told me that.
Wait.
And same thing happened in middle school. It was like everybody was like, go away. And then at the end of middle school, they were like, everyone loves you, right? And I was like, why didn't anyone tell me that? In college, I would do the same thing of like, oh, I'm going into college, so I'll say hi to the people that already go there. Sophomore year of college, why don't I message the incoming freshman class and say hi? It's like things like that. Just because they're interested in the same field as I am, I'm like, oh, good connections. But at the same time, there's a lot of social awkwardness that comes along with just randomly talking to people that you've never met. But I embrace it. And if you've ever seen any of my comedy sketches, I think you know very well that I embrace being awkward. I've stood in my dorm hallway naked.
That's true.
For one moment in a sketch, which in the bloopers you can see my RA come out and just be like, "What are you guys doing?" And I very confidently just say, "It's a sketch," and then.
What does he say back? I forget. Good.
She was like totally fine with it at that point. I think she just like wasn't surprised by me doing stuff like that.
What? what stuff has she seen that she can stand out in her hallway?
She's an
and be
RA.
like-
She's an RA at a liberal arts school. I don't know if that helps.
Yes, but
expand
also
your mind.
an expensive private liberal arts school. What has she had to see in order to walk out in her hall after hearing a ruckus, seeing some freshman or sophomore dude standing out in the hallway buck naked with a camera on him, and be like, "What's up?" And they're like, "It's a sketch," and she'd be like, "Cool."
Yeah.
And then walk away.
Sometimes people in this world are just chill. That's another thing to be.
Chiller's scarred, Zane.
Yeah, very important. See, I'm not saying to embrace your awkwardness, you have to get naked in a hallway. That's not at all what I'm getting at. I just want to let you know it can help. But
It can help with the awkwardness if
no
you've
way-
been your most vulnerable with
in no
everyone
way-
around you.
In no way is it the solution.
Yeah. Do you think you felt less awkward around people after being naked in a hallway?
I feel like from how I had built myself up, I didn't feel awkward in that moment. Like
Whoa.
that's how I had gotten.
What pregame were you doing to get to that point?
It's just gotten to a point where I joke every other sentence that I say. So I'm
Just in everyday life, you're saying?
Yeah, I'm ready for everybody to judge every sentence that I say to the point that I'm serious, to the point that I'm just like, I don't care if they're about to judge it. Not in an arrogant way, but like if this makes them laugh, then I'm happy. If it doesn't make them laugh, then I'm used to it, type of thing. So in order to get through your awkwardness, well, actually, no. Instead of just saying the same thing over and over again, you want some good books? Read the Little Train That Could.
Little Train That Could?
Yeah, whatever it was called.
So our two pieces of advice that Zane has given us so far is...
Get naked in a dorm and then read a Little Train That Could, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really solid advice all around.
And then give me a book report on it, but film yourself doing it buck naked in a dorm room. But don't show anything, because then that's weird that I asked you to send me that.
Yeah.
Not my Friday nights.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Do you want to say anything?
Do I want to say anything? Oh, you want to stop talking? Will, what do you want to say? How do you get over social awkwardness? Thanks for asking.
Thank you.
We're really good at this. Let's see. What do I do to get over? What books do I read to get over social awkwardness? The Bible. That makes you less socially awkward.
Oh,
Just kidding.
I'm sure.
It doesn't.
I was going to say you filled the room with a lot of awkwardness right then.
Right there when I said that the Bible is the answer. No. Let's see. What do I do to get over social awkwardness? I definitely don't embrace it. I think I ignore it. And I think if people were to be like, Will, or I shouldn't say that. If they were to ask, like, hey, is Will, when Will isn't in the room, is Will an awkward person? I think that the back of their head is always yes, but they would say no because they know that I ignore it. And maybe I'm just ignorant, and people are laughing right now, being like, "Idiot doesn't know how awkward he is." But that's what I think it is. And that's also, at this point, as sad as it is, there are many times being 23 years old, still in college, that I'm surrounded by, like, because a lot of my friends have graduated and moved, and soon I'll be moving to a place where a lot of them have moved, but I'm surrounded by a lot of people who are sometimes younger than me, and sometimes just, like, I don't know, I look older, I act a little bit older, and so just being a little bit more mature sometimes gets you over the social awkwardness. And I know that can obviously backfire, and it's not relevant in every case, but, like, being mature and not always jokey can sometimes make it a little bit less awkward when you actually care about somebody instead of just being like, and it sounds like I'm going directly against your I joke every other sentence.
I have a good reason as to why, maybe, like, that, because I surround myself with older people all the time.
Ooh.
And so maybe I consistently find that humor is the best way to fit in with a group that I think is more mature than me.
Whoa. Whoa, it all turns around. It all comes full circle. We actually might have said some real advice.
For ourselves. We literally just helped each other.
I think we just became better friends is all that happened.
I think I'm ready to do episode 2 of Save Your Baking.
Yeah.
Save Your Cooking is a completely different show. You do not want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's messed up. We would never do that. Save Your Baking, episode 2, where we will be reviewing Rice Krispie treats and also battering our friendship.
Mm-hmm. Battering our friendship. That's
is that what I said?
No, if it's not, it should have been.
Oh, okay.
That's a good slogan. Save your baking, battering our friendship.
Straight over my head again. All right, there we go. I got it now.
Okay, good. All right. I have a pretty good question. And this is
Yeah,
a
last
question,
one. Let's hit it up.
This is a question that I've actually gotten at college. So for people that don't know, I go to Emerson College, liberal arts college. It's a fun college to get the biggest, widest variety of opinions you've never asked for.
I thought you said whitest variety.
Same. Whatever you want, whatever you never wanted to hear, everyone will tell you exactly that.
Oh, people just really want to throw out their opinions at you at this college?
Absolutely. This is a real question that I once got because this happened. All right?
Yeah, do it.
And afterwards they asked me. They said, if I stand up before my 1920s racism class lecture begins, and I tell the class I'm racist beforehand, will that ease the tension in the room?
So
This person, before the lecture started, in a 1920s racism class, stood up and said, I just want to let everyone know I am racist.
Woof.
And then they said, so don't be surprised, and then sat back down.
And that was it?
Do you think that
Wait, at the beginning of the class starts. Day one.
Yes.
Is this your name? No, I spelled it wrong. What is it actually? Oh, it's actually this. And by the way, I'm so racist.
It's like running through the syllabus, and then it's also like, I just want to point this out before we get too far in. I am racist, so don't be surprised. And then sitting back down. Do you think that took away tension in the room? This is a real question. Do you think that took away tension in the room?
Somebody actually asked you this?
Yes. Do you think that took away tension in the room?
I kind of want to personify this person, but I don't. I kind of want to be like, just refer to them as like, oh, racist Joe, this guy, if he ever comes up reoccurring in other episodes or something like that, because I think this is just so strange. But do I truly think it would reduce tension? No, you don't. Because I think it would create an expectancy among all your classmates first year. It's like, here's the racist dude. Here we go. Or because it's not like you can immediately, like, if somebody just stands up at the beginning without any prompting or anything specific that they were talking about, and it's just like, yo, by the way, I'm racist. Like, it's not like you're gonna go to the dean and be like, he's racist. What'd he do? He said he was. Like
told me.
He told me he was.
What'd he say? That he was racist.
I wouldn't believe that person who even told me as the dean, like, that actually happened. So maybe, I don't know. That's so tough. Would it reduce tension? No, it would make worse tension.
It would absolutely make worse tension.
It would make a thick fog of tenseness in the air.
I do like to imagine the scenario where someone stands up and is like, oh, by the way, guys, I am racist. And the loudest exhale, sigh of relief, flows over the class.
Oh, thank goodness.
Said it. Oh, like they all knew beforehand. Is like, I gotta get this off my chest. It's true. And they're like, so at least he knows it. We know.
Guys, I got a confession to make. In case me not knowing any of you could be a clue towards this, I am racist. Oh, thank goodness you told us. We were so worried. No, that's a joke, by the way. Nobody's gonna be happy. So, yeah. I mean, not really too much to say there.
Yeah. That's fair.
Without getting too hard into it, which is not our goal. But, yeah, so I think that's all we got for today. I mean, I had a great time.
Yeah.
We hope to see so many awesome submissions, like we said.
I think this show is going to get just better and better. I think this was a good jumping off episode to show that we can get away with the comedic advice, not get too serious or stray away from being too serious, and also get real at the same time.
Yeah, and there was definitely zero editing done to erase any of the political rants that either of us got onto and decided to take out for
Absolutely.
No, that didn't happen.
This is all original.
Kept
in all of the save your baking parts too. That was very important.
Yeah, I'm glad that's totally in there, and that if people are hearing that thinking, "What's that about?" and they listen to the whole thing, that we totally didn't cut that out.
I do promise you, Will, I'm not cutting out the save your baking.
Oh, good, sweet. I hoped you wouldn't. And there's no reason to. As controversial as save your bacon may be, not as awkward as me talking about curing social awkwardness with the Bible, but yeah, guys, like we said, our Twitter handle is going to be Zane and Will. Please send us your submissions. Just say hey, whatever you want to do. Give us a follow on there just to let us know that people are listening. We'd love to hear from you. Give us any feedback on what we're doing, what's going on, whether what we're doing is good or bad. Yeah, say hey. And another thing, the way that this stuff gets spread, podcast mostly in total, is all just word of mouth. And so we appreciate any sort of sharing or spreading, even if that is just like a Twitter follow or a shout out being like, yo, look at this podcast, check them out.
For sure. We'll be on SoundCloud, which will eventually get it onto iTunes and Spotify, and I might even put the whole thing on my YouTube channel just under my name, Zane Shaw. And there's something I'm doing with one of my other podcasts that if any fans ever do it, I will be absolutely delighted. You are more than allowed to take our podcast and make it into clips and share it around YouTube as well. I don't have to be the sole proprietor of making that happen. If you wanted to, by all means you could, because it makes it way easier to share.
Absolutely. Take the clips, put them out of context, and smear our names and say terrible things about us.
Absolutely.
That's what we live for, pretty much. Ruin our careers and whatnot. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. Thanks for listening. Thanks for getting this far. In case you didn't skip ahead the whole way, that'd be a weird place to skip to. But
I'd like to point out we did say we think we're here to help. So if we did help, cool. If we didn't say we are here.
But don't listen to us, really. That's a bad idea. Half the stuff we say is garbage, and we don't have prefaces for that. So skip to the end so you can hear where our advice is garbage, so that you can hear it here first. But maybe we'll have to put this at the front instead of at the end. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a great week. We'll see you soon.